that they make, and indeed it is. A little bit of utility here. ZTR's got the P250. Art, meanwhile, picking it up on the other side. And they're going to get into it. Little connector control taken early on. Looks like we're going to have an engagement here, but it's a pop-off towards Fountain first. 2 players in to Junior spot that he certainly did as he's down to 1 point of health. And here comes the face. He is low. Quesorado, though, starts off the killing.
Yeah, and for the moment, they're actually sticking around, looking for a bit more of a fight around Connector, which, well, has just 1 player at the moment holding. The rest of them falling back around towards middle, and, well, eventually, yeah, that trade actually is going to be found by Hampus, so a good return to bring them back to the 4-on-4, with the damage initially done onto Queserato, with Junior being dinked down as well. This gets pretty dangerous for Furia. They aren't able to hang on to any of that initial map control that they took off the back of the aggression, and it's not like they ran down a considerable amount of time. There's still a minute here for NIP to work with. So we'll see how this goes. It looks like Queserato, anyway, will be tested up on this A-bomb site, and, well, with a little bit of a crossfire there between him and Junior, I believe. So it's both of the low-health players.
Oh, he's going to get cleared as well. Hampus is ready for it. Spots the elbow. That's not going to take any effort. He actually takes the head as well, just to make absolutely sure. The elbow would have been enough. Junior so low down in the bank. He's trying to make a withdrawal, but Hampus is just here to deny. He's the teller, and there is no money in your account, Junior. No health to be spent, so down he goes. Plopsky, oh, the positioning, finds Vinny in the smoke, and just as it fades, will collect as well. Art bailing. Chased away. He will take the first. He's looking for more. Plopsky realizes there's no benefit to this fight. Sit on the bomb, secure the round. Don't chase and give Art the potential to make something happen. Speaking of potential, he's now hidden in his own smoke, faking that he's covering off his retreat. Players move past him. They realize they found him. Ships in the night, but no, Art takes 1. He can't win the round, certainly, but he's looking for damage. He's looking to do something. Might die to the bomb, and indeed he does. Go up with the smoke, go up with the explosive end. That is certainly a way to get started on the right foot. Scout for Junior. Some deagles around it. See if the tag and bag approach can be effective.
Yeah, we mention every time that we like this setup. Oh, that was very little damage right there for the scout, unfortunately, for Junior. Peeked in towards mid, did get the legs of knock, but I think it was through the corner of the wall as well, so not really doing as much damage as he would have hoped. But either way, Nip, they are moving in towards middle. Worth noting, they've gone pretty heavy here over towards the rifles and just the weapons in general, bringing out a few Galils. That is obviously going to give them a few nades, at least alongside having rifles too, give them the ranged capability, try and ensure that they're not going to be losing too many weapons here, and obviously 1 AK and a UMP in there as well. But yeah, they've pushed Furia back into a very passive hold at this point. I think, yeah, just everywhere pretty much they've gone passive. They're gambling and just leaving 2 towards B. Going to put a 3rd player up here on A, and that's Art, who's actually pushed up close on long with Queserato now. Okay, it looks like they don't even want to just stick around here. They might actually go aggressive, but it is being held. Right now, no one actually peeking in. We're going to have to pop out from behind the tree in a moment, and Art's going to have to hit some quick deagle shots, and unfortunately, he's not capable. The second player might not be expected, and with Hampus being low health, I was going to say he probably shouldn't push through. He actually catches the player in the background. Because of that, will be traded at least, but at this point, the man disadvantage now, only 1 player left around this A side of the map, and unfortunately held back on long, so the bomb should at least be able to go down here. But obviously, he's going to be a pretty big nuisance now, being on that flank potentially, but with an AK, I can agree with him just backing away here. Makes sense.
It's the most valuable gun in the server. It's the only AK up, and they can't really afford to chase to get it out of his hands, at least not until that bomb is ticked quite low. And at this point, he's got bodyguards. He's got 5-7 and it's Eagle to watch. He can back out, and that means that if they come hunting, there's a serious risk. So NIP is going to have to let that gun go. They get the second round, and that's fine. Furia will have something to fight with in this next. In the meanwhile, they can hide this AK of Queserato around the map, do some substantial damage with it, and you save the armored Eagle and the armor 5-7. It's not bad by any measure for that 3rd round. Still, NIP, they'll be very pleased. And they're off to a nice start here. I think we are going to have to cut away for the game from just a minute. It really did. Finally got a new mixer, so thankfully that
here we go.
Is gone. We've exercised it, and we're back to the action. Sound? Yeah, we've got sound. Oh, that feels good, folks. It feels good. Hampus going to clear back in. This is a good hold. This is a good clear. They went for the aggression and connector, but it got pinched, and there's just not much you can do about that. Yuri, he will collect 1, but it's probably going to be all they're getting in this round. These 2 players are bunched in towards the B site, and NIP has no reason to test them. Even if they do want to, CTR tracks the bullets back through the smoke, finds Vinny on the edge of it, and now it's all into Yuri. Can he connect more shots with his hand cannon? Perhaps. But as soon as they realize where he is, they should just leave him alone. It's done, but it's tagged back in kind. Rez decides to get the kill. Regardless, not worry.
And in the end, it's a clean round. They don't really lose too much apart from one player. So it is going to be up to FURIA now, obviously, to try and wake up coming into the first gun round. And here we go. Art and Junior, we're getting the double up setup, Mike. I'm hyped for this one. Nades could be a little bit better, but they're going to use what they have at least to try and get a bit more aggressive early. And, well, nice. No shot connected from the off anyway, but we do see the boost coming in back over on B. And with that now, they can afford to fall back a little bit more. That's what you need when you don't have the utility on everyone. Something to give a little bit more comfort in those early moments, yeah. Oh, we have the undefined on the radar. I love when that happens.
Always delightful. Don't worry about him. He's just back in.
It's in the spawn, at least. It's only confusing when it's in areas players actually play.
Undefined can't hurt you. Undefined can't hurt you. Art patrolling. This is dangerous. There's some decent control for NIP despite the loss of life. They knew the boost came through, but they still got this position. What a shot from Rez. How does he win that? Just peeking around the rock. Flashbang used well. Actually, the flashbang was Cacerato's. So he just peeks out and just deletes Junior. I mean, goodness gracious. That's one of the ops down for the count. Unfortunately for them, Vinny's holding this angle with an AUG, and it is a very potent angle to hold. That's the bomb now dropped. He's just going to be sitting on this like a mother hen, watching her clutch. Actually, they will smoke it off, so they want to avoid getting shot. Give him the bomb, no problem there. The flash runs out. A boost up counter comes in, and Rez gets another. He'll take a bunch of damage in time, but he's brought it back to 25 seconds. They've got to go for the hit. That's a big one from Plopsky. Yearly spray. Now problems upbound, and Plopsky's clearing it out. This was looking like he was in control for FURIA, but far from it. Art takes one as they try and cross for the pillar. A second as well. Art's doing it all himself. He can't deny the bomb plant, though. But ZTR, with his hands on the C4, will allow Art some space to get out. Ooh, may have missed his opportunity. ZTR knows he cannot leave. That AWP providing oversight. He doesn't know if he's dropped down yet. There was a noise, but it didn't sound like a drop noise. Nice nade. Doesn't make much of a difference when it's the AWP we're talking about. It's ZTR with a bold face. A risky one indeed. Art trying to chase him around this box, knowing that he's here. He's going to go for the drop node. Thinks he's gotten out towards construction. He is absolutely right. Has to go for the stick. Doesn't have a kit, so this round is off. He wants the kill, though, and that he will find. The round is over. It's another one for NIP. Costly, yes, but it was a bonus round, so they are happy to pay that price.
Oh, yeah, and I mean, that was with it. It happened to be a 1v3 from Art for the health, so that it really couldn't have done too much apart from a tiny bit of damage either way. But obviously, it is going to be Nip up 4-0. The op still available. Some pistols to back it up. A few nades. And, well, let's see what's going to be done. Art, I believe, taking that towards connector. No, maybe mid itself. He might find knock, but obviously with the smoke there, he's going to go ahead and cross over to try and peek around mid at the from the long area instead. But we do see a trading connector. Art was able to catch one before going down. Thankfully, they did have a second player here to retrieve the weapon. And yeah, Vinny, he's going to give us a little bit more, but he doesn't expect them already crossed on mid. And Rez from Party, well, he's having a fun time as you'd expect. Yuri not actually going to be finding that kill, but did force the player back away. And importantly, now there's an AK there you can pick up.
It's actually two.
And a molly as well.
There's a lot available for them. Let's see. They are going to be able to get that second AK as well. I think Junior's down in there. So yeah, actually the AWP is retrieved. That's huge. Knock. Next shot on Cacerado. So it is just these two guns. They might consider the save. In a 2v3, though, I think it's too tempting to hunt for it, especially when they'll have money into the next one. Junior's going looking. They're going to wrap in. There's going to be a pinch. Junior without armor, of course, but the AWP mitigates the effects of that. A Molotov for Yuri means he can clear some positions. That goes in back of Optimus. Didn't expect this long flank. Does the shot hit? It is indeed. Now things get very interesting. Yuri expecting to grab the bank, and he is right to do so. Rez drawing focus. There's the pinch. He didn't have the timing on it. He had the right idea, but at this point, Junior's just going to have to back off and save. Without the armor, without the kit, this is not an appetite prospect, so he is out of there. A 5th round for NIP, and they're continuing to roll here. That round, there was a chance. There was a chance for FURIA, but NIP, they remain calm, cool, and collected, and if they just keep stacking up these rounds, they're not really going to care how they come.
No, as you said, the economy isn't an issue yet. It'd be nice if they could build up some to the scoreboard. Double up setup again, though. This is something that we can expect this team to be going for whenever they can afford it, pretty much. And it is an expensive setup, so it can be punishing if you don't make it work. And I guess that's partly why we're here at 5-0 right now. But here we go. Artie found some aggression earlier around Connector. This time he obviously has teammates on the weapons as well, which is a positive. And although he did spot that player, unfortunately won't be able to actually get the kill. So he is forced to fall back away. Get out of here before anyone pushes up on mid, before he gets trapped around that Connector on his own. And yeah, they are going to go ahead and just set up around the bathrooms. A little bit of noise around mid, but we can see that the majority of the presence right now just held up outside Monster. That's 3 of the players. They are looking, I believe, to try and catch Vinny as the flash goes in. So he could be in trouble for sure, but we've got to focus on Junior because he's caught Rez. Pushed down on Long, and oh, Yuri actually getting a double spray down. Zetior and Hampus both being caught.
It's not the second time we've seen that particular duel between Junior and Rez. Last time, Rez won with a Khalil. This time, Junior gets the better of him. So now it's looking very good for FURIA. Just going to be Plopsky and Knock coming back through. They should not be given much quarter. They don't have utility to get onto site either. That's problematic. Not even a smoke to maybe try for a bomb plant. They're just going to have to go in bare. And the bare cupboard, not really going to provide for a healthy meal here. 2 players on site, 1 watching from heaven. This should not be possible. See what they can do. 35 seconds. Here comes the peak. Swing from Killer. 1 kill goes in and a second as well. So indeed,
go try and build up the money as much as possible because, well, we know they're both very capable uppers, so you can completely understand why they want to pull this out. But yeah, they've got to be making sure it's working. We do see just the 1 round, as we mentioned, kind of breaking down Nip. I thought maybe they'd have a little bit more left over, but no, 2 AKs, a UMP, and a couple of pistols. Not great, but there obviously is still an opportunity for them to return a bit. They've got the kind of basics in terms of the nades as well to try and, at the very least, make it a costly round. That would be the goal. A little bit too far forward there for ZTR. No one else was actually ready to follow up on the trade. The only reason they even get damaged was because Art decided to piece back in, but there we go. A flash eventually comes over. Snatches 2 of them and is like, nah, I'm out of here. I don't want to stick around anymore. We don't need it. We've got a great advantage. We have 1 minute and 20 nearly. And yeah, let's reapproach this round now with the newly found advantage that we do have. The only issue is no control elsewhere on the map. In theory, FURIA could have gone aggressive. They could have control up on Long. They could push through bathrooms or Connector. So there isn't that info to be found for Nip. So they do decide to stick her outside B for now. But they're waiting a little bit. They're trying to make FURIA feel uneasy. And, well, maybe even hoping that some rotations could come true and pull some players off at a bomb site. But we know that's not the case. Yuri and Caserato are still here.
that was an excellent punish by Plopsky. You know that Art's going to be getting aggressive, that he always is going to want that fight. So you recognize that tendency of his and you punish him for it. And the support as well was just half a tick behind. So Vinny goes down. So much time to play with here for NIP. They're going to commit back into the B hit. There are 2 players here, so it's not the easiest site take they can make. Both are aggressively positioned as well. Yuri hits the first shot. They're all coming from Monster. That's problematic. And the numbers are falling. The numbers are falling fast and fierce. It's not working out for NIP. Hampus alone, running out of time, trying to just rush on. He doesn't even have control of the bomb. He'd given up hope of the round, just wanted to do some... Not big Caserato, as we had on the team pick.
I like the stretch.
Kind of love that. I want to see a whole team roster now with that kind of stretch.
I don't know.
Why
did they have to do him like that, though?
I think it's good luck, you know? It's intimidating. That's what you want out of your team pick. You want to intimidate the opponent. Plopsky will catch a tag. They're just going fast with the pistols, trying to catch someone off guard. Art will connect. There's support as well. Both officers here. That's tricky against the pistols, but Art, he's good. Junior as well. Apparently, they're up to the task. Caserato, actually, the player who goes down. Got caught by the long sight. Hampus will eventually falter. So, nice play from the AWP.
Yeah, but I mean, we expect him to be up there, though, and he is indeed delivering. As you said, still early round, so I would expect that to keep on going up. And, well, that's the hope for FURIA anyway, because they are still down 3-5. They don't want to be letting any more rounds slip quite yet up against Nip here on their D side. Art, we are seeing the peak come in over the smoke. We have that secondary up as well. I think Junior also wants to move in towards Long, and there we go. Catches knock, doesn't even bother to drop away. Nearly caught the player jumping back off of the swing set, or off of the slide, rather. My bad. He's now crouched in behind. I don't know if they're being a bit greedy here, maybe. What are you thinking, Mike? Junior's still sticking around. If they had a flash, if they went for the double peek here, he'd be in a lot of trouble. But no, it is a much slower approach from Rez. Creeps into the crosshair, and Yeah, his knees are going to be feeling that op bullet tomorrow. It is a 5-on-3, and, well, the ops so far have not even been taken off their angles. Art is still sticking around watching the connector push up as well. So they haven't really gotten anything for those 2 losses.
Ooh. Now this is maybe a bit aggressive, but Art makes it work, because of course he does. It is Art on the scene, and it looks artistic for sure. Beautiful shot. Klopsky going to try and retrieve that AWP, but does he realize the player's right here? He's just dumping guns, trying to hide them. Junior's holding a close angle. Now this is a bold stick, and he's going to get caught trying to transition out of it. So for Plopsky, it's now a damage game as much as he can do. Oh my goodness, Plopsky! He's hiding guns, he's burying them, but he might just take away the round. Now he has no rifle to work with. He puts himself in a rough situation. He will be caught by Vinny. So concerned with getting the economic damage, but my goodness, Dean, he could have won that round.
Yeah, you can't be making mistakes like that, especially when, as Plopsky, we're being real for Art. You'd just gotten 2 of them, didn't know anyone was actually up connector yet, so you can forgive him on that, but afterwards they really needed to tighten that up and ensure that they weren't going to be losing as much as they did. An easier one, hopefully we're tied up at 5-5, and, well, at least we've got Furia getting themselves on the board now. They are beginning to warm up a little bit. We mentioned this is their first map with Junior, so it just took them a moment to find their fun.
Art goes for the rifle as well, which... I like this. It's going to change up their look. It allows him to get more aggressive. Art. Oh, he's blinded. They see him? They did. He doesn't get it. There's one. The second. Gets caught by the third. But Art's alright with that. Rez catching that kill. Does potentially give him a rifle. I think that will be retrieved. There's already a player very up forward by the concrete planters. So Junior's got to be a bit careful about going for these info hops. I don't know if he realizes the player's in position just yet. Are they rotating K-Serrado off, or is he just coming back around the bank? They're rotating him off? Ooh. This could get risky. Never mind, he's on the scene. Wasn't sure quite what was going on there from the minimap, but K-Serrado being here means that it should be fine. There's the one rifle in Rez's hands to deal with. Plopsky with the CZ. And then ZTR close up with the Eagle. There's some utility as well. 3 flashbangs, a Molotov to go in, make life very uncomfortable. These smokes need to go down. Don't think Junior got the spot there. Now the player's going to be very close up. Oh, no, timing could be brutal here. There, he sees it. Plopsky's leg just as he comes around. He'll miss the shot, but information gain. Now they know. And K-Serrado in position catches that flashbang to block Junior. K-Serrado has to hold strong here, and he can only get one before being done. 2v2, bomb going down. This is disastrous for Furia. Then he will be in position. Fury as well to work this retake, but this is tricky. The dice box close up, clear that. And Rez is dealt with. An expensive round, a costly round, a dangerous round. And now the question becomes, well, where are the ops? One in bank. Cash that in. And that was the only one on the server.
Yeah, after that was the gun for the M4 at the beginning of this round, really should have. So it is a position here we're losing this one. Would leave at least Junior a little bit too low on economy to get that full buy. Caserato wouldn't be looking too great either with the 1400 only coming in. So yeah, they can't really afford to drop this one right now. Nip rather still have a bit of a chance to attempt to punish Furia. We'll see whether they can do it or not. Art wants to go a little bit more aggressive towards Monster, and well, Knock had no idea. His teammates had already bypassed and gone up to the short, so he was thinking it was going to be clear for that peak to come in, but no, it was not. But look, there we go, Yuri. Tried the jump peak and just get spammed by both Rez and Hampus. Art realizing now that they need a little bit back is going to push back forth, and there's no one watching it. What is going on? There was no one watching short right now. Going for the boost. There is a player in connector who could pop out quickly to help with the smoke. That's what stops Art from peeking in. Realized he couldn't really get vision anymore, and I think Rez even spotted him.
The timing on that was so frustrating. He was maybe a third of a second off from getting a kill at 3 different points in that peak, but it's Junior instead who will collect towards the other side of the map, so that denies them any A control. Plopsky wanted to see if they could get out the connector, maybe approach the A site. Not going to be happening in this round. So it will be NIP falling into a B hit. Sending out some utility. There is counter nades coming through, though. And none of this is going to be easy. They wanted the boost. They were given nothing for it. It's not a bad shot when you're down a man to try and get to the other barrel. It's just not going to happen today. Art patrolling on construction. Ooh, he moves forward. This could be a mistake. This could get a little rough for them, but he's going to go ahead and peek out. Does he catch this kill? This is huge. He'll find him with a nade in hand. Doesn't connect, though. Information gained. They're rotating down now. Everybody's here and ready for this hit. Awkward timing on the flashbang, but trades galore. And now it's down to Hampus in a 1v2, and he's out of time. 15 seconds. He's just got to go for it. Hold W. Try your best. Click some heads. Bomb might just have that, but doesn't expect both players by the pillar, and down he will.
The whole action played out in general. There was a lot of, even some team damage, I think, that came in on one of the sides there. But yeah, 6-5, as you said, 6 rounds in a row for FURIA after those initial rounds being pretty one-sided as well. For them to wake up so drastically, or with such a drastic change rather, is exactly what we needed. We've got Art performing, we've got both of the ops, and just everyone at the moment showing what they're capable of. And yeah, Nip are hitting a little bit of a wall. We'll see whether they can come back to life or not, because this buy is not flawless. I think they had more nades in the beginning, considering the economy of Rez and ZTR, but they must have thrown out quite a bit already at this point, because, yeah, they don't have much left with still a minute and 25. If it's coming down to an execute or anything of the likes, they've got 1 smoke, 2 flashes, and a molly. So I think it is going to be more so the picks that they rely on from this default. Try and probe around, see where they can actually find some weaknesses in that defense. But Art, we're seeing him again going aggressive up through short, and this time he will be given a chance. ZDR taken out. It's actually the trade back, and Junior this time is not going to win the fight over towards Long. Rez gets his revenge yet again. Hampa's being peaked on Monster. No one can get away from their positions. It's just constant fights coming in. Both teams realizing whenever they get into that disadvantageous position, they need to make something happen. And that's what Nip does. Plopsky, he leaves them an A site now where they can get that bomb down. But oh, does he spot it just about? The shot not being connected on the first try, but Knock went back in for more.
When they're still challenging against Art, trying to chase this in, trying to retrieve the bomb. Rez doesn't quite have it. Vinny, meanwhile, has the position locked down. He's going to get this kill. Now it's all on Rez. A 1v2, an attempted clutch, and see if he can do it. Peeks into the op, and no, Art will collect. So again, and
shoot back at you. Yeah, that's exactly what you needed. Yeah, good work from Vinny and Yuri anyway on that B hole. Obviously now coming back up against the full buy. Hang on, Plopsky. He's gone for a P90.
Yeah.
Maybe in towards connector. I'd imagine it'd be the most viable position. Yeah, there we go.
Speaking of unorthodox buys, I was going to say. It's kind of odd, too, because he only had the ability to buy 1 smoke. So if he'd bought, say, an MP9 or something of that nature, he would have been able to buy multiple nades. Oh, Art. Very bold position. He's going to get caught out. Does he get away? He does, at least for the moment. There's the shot from Junior. Jerry, meanwhile, has been lost in the connector, so they have to adjust. And this puts these two operas in very awkward scenario. I'm surprised FURIA are putting the operas together so often, but I suppose it keeps them guessing about what corner they're going to peek, where there's going to be a scope. Big kill. They're looking for more as well. Wrap from Playground. How does Art have the balls to go back in and clear? This time it's ill-advised, majorly so. Too aggressive. And Junior, he's still washing down into Con, but that's not the way the other direction's coming. Now that Plopsky's been collected, he can refocus upstairs, and, well, they might just seal the deal. Despite Art going down, there's never really been an inroad into this round, and with control retaken towards Long by Quesorado, ZTR, he's on an island. He's trying to creep around. If he can catch one of these kills, he's got a path into some placing. But he's been spotted now. The information's given up. He's being flanked. Oh, and he's going to throw a bit of smoke. A little awkward. Comes right into Quesorado. Quesorado will fumble the spray for a moment, but he does lock.
Well, it looked like Art was absolutely screwed there when they got caught pushed up on the through party, but no, Junior was also there with that second up, and it just was not expected at all. He ends up catching a player, gives some good cover, and as the rounds go on, it just seems like Nip are kind of getting picked off one by one, and the situation just continuously gets worse. Oh, look at Art. He just doesn't care about holding W. Wants to go straight in towards the fountain. He's not going to find anyone, but I mean, that's even a positive, because he's not finding anyone means that there's no one here, and they're probably over on the other side of the map. So yeah, they're going to instantly start moving Junior back over. But it could be risky, because obviously there is a player in connector. We'll see whether they decide to make their way back up in that direction, perhaps. There's no one there to hold them off. There's no one there to get info for FURIA anymore. They are just relying on this flank from Art, which is very likely going to catch the player outside Monster right now. Yeah, here we go. He spotted one of them. The rest of his teammates on the bomb site ready to hold that short push, and there is nothing to be found for Nip. A single kill is all they are afforded, as it's onto Plopsky once again. You've seen him have some good moments earlier when he was in a clutch. He never should have had a chance of getting any kills in.
And we're back, folks, here at the Intel Extreme Masters Katowice, the first map between FURIA and NIP. And while NIP got off to a hot start, rattling off 5 rounds, FURIA showed why they're comfortable playing Overpass, taking 10 back in turn. You can see the odds have swung now. FURIA now favored, and that's to be expected with how dominant they were once the guns came out. See if NIP can have some similar success here as we kick off the pistol.
Yeah, it's been 10 rounds running for them, so it makes sense now that those odds have shifted in favor of FURIA. But if Nip can get off to a decent start here on their CT side, then I wouldn't say they're out, but they need it. This is their map choice. If they falter, then it's not unlike they can't play Nuke, but still, you don't want to be letting FURIA such a comfortable position rather going into that second map. ZTR has spotted that the B push has come in, obviously, but there's not really much you can do about it right now. And they've even lost the spawn control, which is a great position for FURIA to take with those Glocks, get up close and personal, and well, make things difficult once those USPs start closing in the distance, trying to rotate. Although they are sticking to the short control. Yeah, they're going to all push back down through Connector. Junior on a P250. It is the raid boss. He's been dropped that over alongside the Kevlar. I was going to say started it off on a very strong note, but no, never mind. ZTR and Rez, they just start fragging. Junior needs to come up huge now if they want a chance, and that's exactly what he does. 2 more to his name, maybe a little bit more as Hampus steps in. He only had the 1 bullet, so not with that one anyway, but he's going to stay alive and eventually comes up to the quad. It is all on ZTR now. He's actually just looking to stick it. The smoke is down. Can Junior stop it? He wants to go in for the knife. He can't do anything about it. There it is. Nip finally get another round.
Team of 4K, though. He just couldn't quite realize it. And the snappy thought from ZTR just hop on the bomb there. We also do have to acknowledge this, and I think this is important to note. The rookie on the roster of NIP, ZTR, is top of the board, 13 and 12, and he pulls off the clutch and the pistol around there in nice fashion. So it's not all doom and gloom for NIP. There's a lot to like, a lot of silver linings. If they can chain 5 rounds from the pistol, again, that would certainly go a long way to making life easier. Uh-oh. Force by is strong here. The AK out. The first body's dropped. Now they've got some control towards the site and ability as well. Make their way up Monster. We'll slow them just for a moment. Everybody's here for NIP. This is going to be a brawl for control, and the key position may be ZTR's. He holds construction. No one's going to clear him out. They have no positioning there. FURIA need to make some noise. There's the swing. Hampus has it, though. A counter. Junior, the flick. He gets 2. The spray transfer is incredible. But Knock holds the line. Not for long, though. Deagle connects. Now it's all on to ZTR. The promising rookie. He must do it all himself. A smoke to give him some cover. On the right side of pillar. Allow for the face. He catches a bullet. But Art is low. Vinny's the real player to worry about. But Vinny doesn't have armor. So either way, life's going to get difficult. They do have to cross to get the bomb. Art will start to do so. They're going to face together. And actually, the timing is rough here for ZTR. Now they've got the bomb. They can leave. They can leave. He spams through, though. Catches Art into transition. Nope. It's come down to the 1v1. ZTR. A little celebratory spray there. He's feeling good. That bomb will be planted. There's nothing he can do about it. He's hoping they come back around towards B, trying to call his bluff. But that's not going to happen. And now the retake is on Dean. This is what it's all about. Vinny will have all of the time in the world to hide himself on the site, to take up a post-plant position, and wait. ZTR, meanwhile, creeping up, trying to avoid making the audio cue in case Vinny's come close to fight him. He's going to run out of time, but he does have a kit. He does have a smoke. That's how he got the pistol round away. That might be the ticket once more. Bombs out in the open. He recognizes that, but the smoke goes down to provide a bit of cover, and now he's going to hop on. Certainly, they're not going to allow him to just defuse again, and there comes the spam. Vinny secures it. FURIA wins the force.
Let Nip have 1 round back. It's like, here's a little bit of hope, and then it's gone. That's all it is. It's a force buy from Nip, not anywhere near the same level of what FURIA were able to afford. Of course, they've got a scout and some deagles. We're used to seeing this come out in these force buys. We know they can cause damage, especially when combined together, but it's a very safe buy from FURIA. They've got 4 AKs and a Galil. Nades could be a bit better, but they have prioritized that weaponry instead. But yeah, that's to ensure that they aren't going to lose too much, or at least that they are favored in these duels. They know they take this one, suddenly it's 13-6, and then if the next gun round especially then goes their way, there's very little hope for Nip to do anything about getting back into this map. Worth noting, I don't think Nip are going to fall flat on Nuke or anything. We've seen it from them since adding ZTR, and we did mention it was a win over complexity in their opening match to play in, but that wasn't the best of ones. It's a map that they're willing to play, as you can kind of see, but it comes through as the decider, more of a round, maybe one they haven't got as much practice into. And with FURIA picking it, I'd imagine it's something that they put a lot of time into with Junior.
We're still on Overpass, though. Lots of time yet to go, but as you said, the time is perhaps getting short for the ninjas. They're running out of opportunities. Doesn't realize the player's right under him, so Art will go down to Plopsky. There's another player in connector, so Plopsky can't quite get away, but down. Now on the site, ZTR cannot connect. That would have been huge, even if he just takes one to sow a little chaos. Swinging back with the bomb is bold, but Junior, he's comfortable with it. All onto Plopsky now, and he can't get away. He knows they hold connector. Or at least has a pretty good idea, if not full confirmation that they do. Now they're flirting with the door, so they know he's still here. Spam coming back. You don't get to take our AKs out of this round. They'll sacrifice Junior's life, but that is a...
Yeah, this has been insane. If you weren't with us, there's no way you think this was Nip's map choice. And if you didn't see those first
certainly
few
not.
rounds, you might have think at least they've been putting up a bit of a fight, but that hasn't really been the case. They won the pistol, got the first gun round, went up 5-0 as you said, and yeah, that previous pistol is all they've found since then. So both pistols the way of Nips are still only sitting on the stack. It's not looking too good. Oh, okay. I like the stack though. That works out pretty well. It's only the SMG, so it's not too big of a deal for FURIA at least. That's kind of what they were aiming towards. They did send that SMG out to take the long fight rather than the AK, which would be normally favored at the range because they were probably expecting something like that to be at least possible. And we found out it was. They have returned the frag elsewhere and, well, taken full control of B, so I don't think it's going to be much of an issue at all. That bomb can be planted. There can maybe be a couple of exit frags set up from Nip since they don't have anything to lose. But I'm not expecting much more than that. But yeah, if they can steal away a weapon, bring it into the next round, boost up their own nades such a little bit, then that would be a good find. But that's not working. Art just gets to stack up frags. What's he on now? He was already
off what FURIA is running. Pause is going to expire, so let's see what they've got. Where's the place from the map? 2 players going aggressive in towards the bathrooms. This might signal a fountain peak. I think that would make a lot of sense. 3 players holding towards B initially. No. Maybe a bit more of a default. And a fast play from FURIA right off the pause. They don't want to let them catch their breath. They're already a monster. They're already onto the site. They're clearing construction. Who's going to be the hit? Where do the kills come in? And Mini 1. The flashbangs are good, but the answer from ZTR. His vision clears, and Junior's flash actually caught Vinny and Yuri a little bit. So this gets a bit awkward now. The fast, frenetic play still pays dividends. That's the site. They should be able to get a bomb plan here. 2 players locked out in construction. They're trying to get the path back in. And that smoke, I think there's a gap on the right side of it. Rez, meanwhile, catches Art getting forward in towards Graffiti. There's a big old gap on the edge of that smoke, so it's not ideal. A molly in will force the angle out, and a counter smoke has to come through. Bomb down. 2v3 on the post. Quesarado and Junior, 2 very dangerous customers trying to hold this. Oh, Junior just hoping on the edge of that smoke. The players going to flip through. I don't know if he's been catching a pixel, but meanwhile, Quesarado's clear on their flank. That's what you love to see. Now he's got them focused in, but it's all going to be on Quesarado. He's been phenomenal. Now they're topping on the defuse, and it's going to be ZTR once again to just hold it, but this time it's a full 10-second. Quesarado's not calling his bluff. He's just going to stick it. Quesarado has no idea. He doesn't realize he's on the bomb. Another round, and ZTR steals away.
And a lot more from Nip. Can't be coming down to ZTR having to hop on the bomb in a smoke every single time they want to win a round. That's been the way they've got both of them so far here. Oh, is it another B-rush? I think it is. Art is like, okay, well, the initial moment worked pretty well, but they are going to go a little bit slower this time at least, yeah. The smokes go down as they did in the previous round, mollies and such, and with that, a few of their own nades being tossed in to try and force them to expend some more of their own. Art, though, he's just going to run up short. Not going to be committing in, but he was hoping to maybe try and find someone peeking. A little bit of a probe on the bomb site again, just putting as much pressure as they possibly can onto this Nip defense.
I think that was the protocol was, depending on what utility comes out, if they didn't see any of that counter utility come out from the CT side, they were going to rush on the site. They were just going to take it. Doors open. It's an invitation. On they go. What they do, instead they take some construction control. They have this facing towards the connector. The connector face gets punished, but Junior collects a kill on B. And there's no one towards the A side of the map. He didn't really go looking. That's a bold clear from Art. Gets caught. Can't quite line up the kill. And now FURIA, they're looking a little lackluster. They're running out of firepower here. ZTR holding from the barrels. This is going to be tough for him. And he'll get his head ripped off by Vinny. Now here comes the hit. Knock takes the first. Can he get the second as well? Yes, he can. Junior is low. This should be a fine face for Knock. As it goes through, there's just not much ado in here. Now they know it's just Junior. They boosted a player up. As he faces, he should be dead. And they're coming around on the flank as well. This is a tough scenario for the young gun. What can he do? He will get caught. Boost up over the fence. They only needed a bit of damage and cures them round number 8.
Yeah, and slowly but surely, we are seeing a little bit of work being done to get Nip back into this one. This buy is actually not too great for FURIA at all. An AK and up and then pistols around it. So if this doesn't work, Nip probably sitting on double digits, another 1 or 2 gun rounds, and then we could potentially be sitting at a tied-up scoreline even. So there is still the path back in here for Nip. There's nothing to say that they themselves can't just come back alive and start stringing those rounds together like FURIA had. Well, except for maybe Art and Junior, because so far they've been the ones who've been kind of saying, no, you can't do that. But yeah, Junior, pushed up around short. I'm not sure if they'd heard him scope or if he'd already been scoped in from before, but either way, no one has given him an opportunity. So Art decides that he's going to push forward, allowing the op to stay posted up, gives Art a bit of room, obviously, to move in, and, well, it's going to be the full-on B push at this point. Steps being heard, so Nip do realize there's at least some movement coming in around the barrels now at this point, but apparently not from heaven. Art has 3 rain, and I thought he was going to have the second kill as well, but no, ZTR is too quick. So there's the return. There was no one actually ready from FURIA to follow up with that frag either. Yuri is here, pushed all the way in with the bomb, but the rest of the players are not up close, ready to trade out. So this has been just instantly slowed down. They've stagnated.
Junior takes so much damage as well off of that nade. He's down to 3. Again, he's got the AWP, so maybe it's not the worst thing in the world, but they're going to give him Kisserado. That makes sense. Bait for him and give him a path up, and look at the control from Vinny. He's all the way into the bank. But the problem is, the bomb's stuck in a corner. Bomb can't do anything about it. Nox coming looking for this. Actually does check, and Vinny's spray goes wild. So Yuri has to make a move on towards B. They are actually coming back on. It was an attempted fake. And with only 7 seconds, do they have time to get this planted? Maybe. Holding the angle. Yes, okay. Kisserado will confirm it. It's down to 2v2. This is possible. Plopsky catches a tag. Might catch more. Surprise for now. Kisserado will reposition. Want to get on the bomb. They're going to tap it to try and force a fight. Not quite sticking it here. ZTR's not on the server, so it's not just a full stick. Defuse needs to start at some point. Now they have to check for it. Is he just going to get it again? Oh, the shot's missed. Kisserado allows the defuse to come in.
I'm not even sure. Maybe there was a little bit of movement just beforehand. Awkward one either way. Yeah, I mean, they didn't go in even with the full buy in that round. They're not going to obviously come in with a full buy in this round either, but they still have that op to work with alongside some investments around this. So it's similar to what they had even. Maybe a little bit less firepower as Art doesn't have the AK, but more nades to back it up as well. So we can still see this being a close one. Obviously, Nip, though, they are slowly starting to build their way back in. Double digits is looking very reachable now, as this round should still be going their way. And yeah, I think we have a little bit of a game on our hands here again. Maybe Nip showing us why they did choose this one. I'm surprised Hampus peeked in there, gets punished by the op, and well, now Knock wants to push in. There's a weapon there that they probably don't want to be obtained by FURIA, but it's risky for the opper to be the one who's trying to actually stop them from getting to it. So thankfully for his sake, FURIA aren't going to bother with retrieving it, instead moving straight back over to B, and well, Plopsky and ZTR are here. Both of these players have been putting on a pretty solid performance so far. Especially ZTR, he's been impressing me. But here we go, Plopsky, also on 17 frags. The timing, oh, this might not work in his favor. Thankfully, it was the Tech 9, so it's not the most accurate of weapons.
His life there. Here comes the hit. Plopsky's back on the scene as well to help out his teammates. He's starting to reposition. They're falling back. I like the way they're doing this to maintain control, to not give too many opportunities over to these distances limited by. Junior's going looking. They're like, okay, Junior, go get us a kill, but not going to catch him. And now it's looking disastrous. Vinny, he's got the AWP back, but looking for Knock. Knock is prepared on from heaven. He will strike again and again. It was looking disastrous for a while there, team. But they've found some strength. They've stabilized. Now here's going to be the next big test. The rifles are out. Vinny's got a Krieg as well. Ooh, curious to see this one. Vinny was one of the early adopters of the scope rifles when men popularized it.
Haka was always using it, just because he didn't know how to use
Somehow
the AK.
I don't think the pros were watching Haka's gameplay.
Really? I think they were.
Yeah,
Haka's underrated. He's insane.
Call it a
Best Gold Nova I've ever seen. Nah, I love Haka. Oh, the boost! Oh, he nearly even got the second. How the hell did Plopsky leave him for so long? Must have been focused on short. But it's actually tight canvas as well then, so the advantage is just straight back in favor of NIP. Despite losing that first player to the boost, they don't drop another man, at least yet. It's all on Junior now. He's caught between 3 and, well, he's put down pretty quickly for FURIA, especially when they can't buy in this round. That's not right.
That was all Plopsky.
Look at the names.
Incredible from Plopsky.
Got Guardian and Olaf multiple
Olaf
times.
Meister, Guardian, and
New
Olaf
FURIA
Meister.
roster?
I mean, look, if you could get a roster of 3 Prime Olafs and 2 Prime Guardians, I'd want to see that team play. Art, it's going to be flashed trying to go aggressive with smokes here. Plopsky's out with Molly, everything is confusion. What is even happening on the side? Apparently the ninjas do know. Despite the smokes, despite the flashes, despite the confusion, they don't care. They're going to kill everyone. Now it's all left to Art. He's on the site. They may not realize this. He does have some positioning. Oh, get the back flop. For the second player. Oh, no. Tried to play his hand long. But
time. Kind of to be expected now that they're here on the T side and Junior's rocking the op primarily. But still, he was a man who was contributing so much that I'd like to see him wake up a bit again.
Now, the thing as well is they've lost some multi-dimensionality. We've seen so many hits into speed, so many hits into speed, connected control density. And the reality is that NIP have figured out the pacing on their B hit. They figured out how to throw some counter utility, how to create some chaos, where to be looking for the players when they do come through. Even again, they're going to creep out Monster, but this time Katowice does get the kill on Plopsky. ZTR is left with everything to do here. Meanwhile, Junior takes two elsewhere. We're watching what should be the most important fight in the round, but no, it's Junior all the way on the other side as NIP tried to put some trademark aggression in themselves, and they found out that FURIA were ready. Tough to get aggressive on FURIA. Team happening. Junior, this would be a hell of a swing. Maybe a little bit too bold. He checks it towards Connector. Rez is holding on. Eventually, he goes down, but he's made this possible for ZTR. Possible, but tough. The player is in con. They shouldn't have any idea that he's here, but he's not going to be able to catch the timing just a half a second too late. And meanwhile, Art has explored out on towards the site. He's going to realize that it's fake. It's the next big threat is getting caught as they transition over the construction tunnel, but they're looking for it. And they're not going to be able to do so. Now, construction, CTR's last chance. Can he pop this bomb? It makes its way across. No, Art will delete. The pause was everything. Let's see if they can do it. That's a lovely picture for Junior. The rookies, man, they never get their just due on the outlines.
I'm good. I see the idea there. Nip obviously wanted to bring up the beast a little bit, something that a lot of teams like to do when their opponents go for the pause. But yeah, punish straight up for it. And now they've put all of their money into buying back in. They're probably going to be feeling a bit more timid in this round as well, not wanting to go quite as aggressive, at least in the case of most players, because Hampus went down connector over on B. I think it was a nade stack on towards Plopsky. He might have got spammed a little bit beforehand, but at least the one nade comes over and finishes him. So yeah, again, a very strong advantage in the early moments of this round, and well, FURIA, they want to capitalize on it. They're going to hit that B-bomb. As I said, DR finds first contact and finds the first kill, but he is not able to add to it. Only the one is when he's good for. Rez and Knock have to save the day, and it's not happening. Both go down to Junior in sync, despite not even...
They don't even have to do a lot. I mean, they still focused a lot on the Monster Tunnel aggression. They just shifted from running 4 players there to only 2. That was the antidote. Now let's see what they do to try and get the death blow here. 3 players towards Fountain and Connector early again. They're going to put Junior there and let him take the face. I don't think anyone wants to take this peek cannon here anymore. You don't see it from NIP. 4 players at the B site. This is a heavy prediction. With the limited weaponry, it makes a lot of sense. This has been what FURIA wanted to do most rounds. Especially for NIP, that fast hit isn't going to come through this time. FURIA a little wary of it, and they've got options.
What a read.
And if they come up the connector and start to push into it,
Yuri just knew.
Where was that kill?
Hampus can't get away with anything. From connector. Hampus boosted up on the bomb site on his teammate's head, and from inside connector, it was being watched by Yuri. So he's not going to be too happy about that. He wasn't quite on the angle. He took a step to the side and had his crosshair and everything ready for it. So it was read perfectly. One of those pistols down. Not going to be a fun time for NIP. We'll see what can be recovered. They've still got those rifles, and, well, they still have a bit of a B stack in place. I think FURIA might be aware that that's a possibility now, because they're slowly moving back towards mid to try and get some control here. Doing it slowly, though, probably means that this is where they will like to finish it, because they're trying not to give that away for the moment. They don't want to let NIP know what the plan is. The problem being that Rez is over in the long bathrooms, and they're going to be expecting him to be quite so aggressive with this, so he could catch them. Yeah, this is going to be real dangerous right now for FURIA. If Rez goes forward... Big Iv.
He doesn't know they're past, though. I don't think he saw anyone. He doesn't know. Now they're coming up, but he's still checking out towards long. Yes, he'll have a good position for the post, but they've now taken control in towards the bathrooms. They're going to hold him, and here's the grab from Art. Does he get this kill? He does indeed. Rez needed that. His position now revealed, but the damage is done, and that was what was necessary. Ticking away. Vinny with deep control towards the bank. This is a very good post for FURIA. NIP desperate to get back on. They don't have kits either, so they've got to go quickly. Time is running out. Time is a hammer that allows his teammates out, but it's not going to happen. His teammates are done. It's all under Rez, and he can get nothing started. 16-12, much closer than it perhaps could have been, but it is FURIA to snatch away their opponent's map pick to take